Hello, in this video tutorial I would like to look at how to add a quiz to your course, or actually add a quiz into a module. You'll notice that you can click on quizzes and you can simply go up and click on add quiz here, or you can go into your modules, and I'm going to scroll down to my Unit 3 module, and I can click on the Add button next to Unit 3, and from here I can also add a quiz. So it just depends on if you want to add the quiz ahead of time or not. I want you to notice that even if you create a quiz ahead of time before adding it to the module, you can come back in and click to add that quiz into the module from this list. For right now, I'm going to create a new quiz. So we're going to name the quiz. This is going to be my Unit 3 quiz. And I'm going to add the item. So now within my module, I have a quiz listed. I can click on that link to the quiz, and now I'm able to go in and edit the quiz. So right now, I'm going to click on Edit. I've already named my quiz, but if it was not named yet, I would need to name it. This is where I'm going to give instructions for my quiz. Notice that you can add images to these instructions. You could add files to these instructions if you needed to include files for students to look at for the quiz. I'm going to choose the quiz type. Notice that you can do a practice quiz, a graded survey, or an ungraded survey with your students. We'll keep this on a graded quiz. The assignment groups, this is where you could choose the assignment group that it would be associated with. And then you have options to shuffle the answers, add a time limit, and if you add a time limit, how many minutes that time limit would be. You can allow multiple attempts, and you just have to say that you want to keep the highest score, the latest, or the average, and you can allow a certain amount of attempts. I'm going to turn that off for now. And then you have choices here as to when you want your students to see the responses. If you only want one question to show at a time, you can check that. And you also then have the option to lock the questions after they've answered, so the students could not go back to it. If you want to make the quiz live, but you do not want kids to be able to start it until class starts, you certainly can add an access code here, and you can have a filter by IP address that you can add on. That can help when you're trying to figure out if the kids are cheating or not, if they're from the exact same IP address when they're away from school. Once again, we can assign here to everyone, or you can click and you can add in individual students or other sections within the course. You can set the due date. So I'm going to set the due date. I'm going to move this to November and say that the due date's November 6th. It defaults to 11:59 p.m., but if I want it before that, I could say 4 o'clock and then check that to p.m. and say done. So now I have my due date. So I have everything set up for my quiz, but I've not put in the questions yet. And so when I scroll back to the top, I see that here is where I'll add my questions. So I can add a new question group, or you can find questions from a question bank if you've got those questions created. We're just going to create a new question. Once I open up the new question, it's going to then ask me what type of question do I want it to be. So you have several options here of different types of questions that you would like to ask the student. Next, you have the number of points. So if this was a 10 question quiz, I would have each question be worth 10 points. Or if you're using raw score, you can make these whatever points you want. Then you're going to type in your question. You're going to type in your answers, and whichever one is the correct answer, then you're going to click next to that box to show that it is the correct answer. So I'm going to have answer A, answer B, answer C. Well, let me go back in and edit. Hit enter on mistake. And we need answer D. Also notice here that you can add another answer if you need more than 5 choices. Once you have your question entered and your answer choices, you say update question, and your question has been entered in. Now we go to the next question. So on this question, you can have several different things: multiple choice, true, false, drop downs, matching. These are going to be able to be graded, but some of the items, a file upload, an essay, some of the fill in the blanks, those you may have to go back and grade them yourself. So once you have all of your questions added in, and I'll just cancel out of this, then all of your questions will be listed here on the page. I can save and publish the quiz. And now whenever I go to my modules, my quiz is now listed and ready to go for the students. And again, I can unpublish the quiz if I don't want them to see it, or publish it when I'm ready for them to see the quiz. Thank you.